Hi everybody, Gamatron64 here, and I'm going to show you guys how to make a level for Mega Man Returns. Alright, let's see how to do this. First of all, the first thing you're going to do here is, see this little backgrounds tab? You're going to click up in here, okay? And it's going to bring up a whole bunch of different backgrounds and stuff in there. Now, what we're going to do here is the first thing, we're going to make a tile set. Now, I already have a whole bunch of tile sets in here, and I'll just show you what they look like. Here's like a tile set from Mega Man 2. Here's the first Wily stage, and as you can see, it kind of brings us up, and I go edit background, and from here we can see like, you know, the different tiles in there, and they're each 16 by 16 pixels, long and wide. They're just a 16 by 16 square, and each one is separated by 1 pixel of white. It doesn't really matter what color it is, just as long as it's the same color and like none of it appears on the rest of it. Alright, okay, let's wait while this thing takes a little while. Yeah, this is a little slow when you got a whole bunch of things in here. Oh my god. You guys can kind of understand what I have to go through here with this shit. Alright, so now there are a couple of properties you're going to want for your tile sets. You're going to want to make sure each one is 16 by 16 wide and high. You're going to want a vertical offset of 1, and horizontal one of 1. Well, that depends on, you know, where they are in your picture. So I'll just let you screw around with that. And vertical separation and horizontal separation, that's for like the little 1 pixel in between the blocks. So that's up to you. If you want to make a new one, just go to load background. It's pretty simple. If you want a certain color to be transparent, just click transparent there. And one thing you definitely want to do is use as a tile set, because see what that does? Makes it a tile set. There we go. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to edit our first level. Now, what we're going to do here, I'm going to make another more advanced video, which has, you know, more advanced techniques that basically make my life a whole lot easier if you do them. But for now, we're just going to mess around with level layouts and that sort of thing. So instead of even making a new level, I'm going to just mess around with the test level. And screw around with there. And if you're like not too used to Game Maker, I suggest you do this too. Yeah, let's see if I can keep this quick in under 10 minutes. Already 3 in. Okay, let's go. I'm just blabbing. Anyway, you're going to go into Rooms, and you're going to go to Test Level 1. And this brings up the first test level. And, alright, basically what you're going to want to do, see this thing here? This toggles the grid, which makes it a little easier to place tiles. And to place a tile, what you're going to do is go to backgrounds here, and just go to the tile set you want. I'm going to go to this one. And all you need to do is just click on the tile here, and click it there, bam, it's on the screen. It's that easy. Now, a couple things you guys should know. These tiles aren't solid. There are a couple different objects here. You need to go to Objects to actually make these things solid. Now, you're going to go click here, go down to Terrain, Parents, and there are a couple different objects here that you can place to have, you know, different effects. Now, see, here's a floor parent object. I'll click this here. Now there's a floor. And there are a couple others that you need to know about, which are walls, ceilings, and ladders. If you look over this, I think you can kind of figure them out. Kill object, which, you know, kills Mega Man instantly. Spikes is the same thing. Water, etc. Ignore block controller, that's for like the appearing and disappearing blocks, which is more advanced stuff. Okay. Now, another thing you're going to want to notice is, like, it's separated into 16 by 16 blocks, but each of these blocks are made up, you know, into, okay, let me rephrase this. I am not good at speaking, as you can tell here. These stages are made up of like 120 or something. They're made of, let me find out how big these squares these are. Each level is made up of a bunch of different screens here. 256 by 224 is their size. This thing here. And this thing is a guide to make sure, like, this is how big one screen will be. This object. This object doesn't do anything. It's just like a stencil, so you can tell, you know, how big you make your screens. So this white object here, that's one screen. And in between screens, you're going to want to make sure there's a 16 pixel gap. So see this little green part here? Make in between here and like here, make sure there's this gap here, or you're going to have screens overlapping, and that's not good. And these things are scroller objects. I'll get into that in the next video, but for now, we're not going to have any specific scrolling. For your levels, you just want to get rid of all these scrolling objects, not have any of them. And what you're going to got, I can't talk, seriously, I'm mumbling all the time here, stuttering. Anyway, what you're going to want to do here is, so this is actually even kind of playable, what you're going to want to do is, so you go to views here, and it's following the camera object. Instead of doing that, you just want to move it and make it so it's following the Mega Man object. So it won't scroll right, but you can actually kind of play through it and test it. So, you know, it kind of works. And I'll teach you how to do scrolling, proper scrolling in another video, like video 2 or something, but it's not necessary to get the thing playable. Alright, now a couple other things, pretty simple. If you want to place like enemies, they're here, like, yeah, whatever, here's a Met. Bam. There's a Met right there. What else? Enemies, items, whatever. I think that's the gist of it. If you want Eddie in the screen, you get this big sucker. There are some boss doors. If you're not doing scrolling yet, don't worry about those. But yeah, just the big important thing is just make sure, like your stages, yeah, this object's under scrollers, by the way, the little stencil. Just make sure that your screens are separated into like these little blocks here, each screen. And there's a little gap here in between each one. And as long as you can do that, you're good. Yeah, and also like for these, this applies to like vertical too as well as horizontal. Like here, you're gonna want to like, if you're gonna go from like this screen here to this one, say, you're just gonna want to have a little gap, one block gap between them, and that just makes life easier, so I don't have to move every single tile and every single object, like every single floor object, so it works. So that's about it, guys. If you have any questions, comments, just let me know, and I will have some extra stuff in video 2. Awesome. Great. Catch you later.